Today is February 17th, 2025, and I have Martin here from bringingwiththemarkets.com. He's a mentee, and this is just a progress interview for those who want to watch or traders possibly interested in coming in our program, or maybe Martin has a few things to say, and we're just gonna let it ride. How you doing, Martin?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Other than today's market
Yeah,
uh, being dead, how have you been, and how's your progress going from the
good.
last time
Really,
that I interviewed you?
really good. I will say your video that came out today, I haven't watched it yet, but the simple fact that it's been a not particularly great day actually makes me feel a little bit better because I've not had a particularly great day because the market's not been great. It's not great. That tells me that I'm still doing the right thing. Does that make sense? Because we're looking for the same stuff because you've taught me, and we're taking the same trades most of the time because you've taught me. That means it gives me a surety that it's not me as such. It's the market today was not great. But yeah, things have been good. Things have been good. Had a bit of excitement after the mentorship, and I know you've had to put me back on the tracks about 6 or 7 times because I wander off. I see things, and I think, what about that? And you've been pretty hard on me, but in a good way, making sure.
Thanks for being honest, Martin.
Oh no, but that's what I
Yeah.
need. My entire life, I have cut corners
Mm.
through work, whatever it is, managers, bosses, they've always said to me, there's this way, and then you keep doing it your way. And I'm like, yeah, but my way's quicker. Yeah, but your way's wrong. So it's nice to have you there because sometimes I get in fact I do get very sidetracked and we have to break it all back down again and you show me the steps and then it gives me the confidence to do it. And I think the last mentorship session we had, it really, really brought clarity to me why everything that you teach and how it all comes together. And if you take, I spoke about the piece of the puzzle before, if you take one of those things away that you teach, the other parts don't work so well, and it can sometimes end up being a little bit disastrous if you don't follow the plan. But I know I send you the screenshots. It's really nice to see when all the steps are taken and you're not guessing. It's working out. I think I sent one to you last week. Again, won't go into any details, but everything set up and it just worked. And I was like, ah, I love it because it's no longer is it not? It's just doing the thing you said it was going to do. I don't have to guess anymore, and it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. So I am, as you know, still on the demo. I like being on the demo because it builds my confidence until I feel like I can say I'm going for it. So I think for me, the demo is important. It allows me to F up and learn from my mistakes until those messes up are minimal, none. And yeah, the last week's it's really come together in my mind what I've got to do. And I tell you what, and like I said, if you didn't keep me on the train tracks, so to speak, I don't know where I'd be because I would just be off with the fairies and not following the plan. So it's I appreciate you doing that because if you didn't, I would not be doing as well as I am. So for anyone watching, the mentorship is literally that. Rich becomes your friend, and if you're wrong, he tells you, and if you're right, he tells you, and if you're guessing, he tells you. He knows. He knows if you guessed the trade. He knows if you're trying to cover something up. He knows if you've made a mistake and tried to get out of it. He knows. And that's the important part about a mentorship versus training or doing a course is that you're always there. No matter when I message you, you always reply with, if I ask you a question um, or I show you my results, you always come back at me if I'm right. It's always positive affirmations back, and that helps me learn. So I appreciate that. So yeah, going really well. A little
So
while longer, and I think I'll go for it.
yeah, so when you do send me results, a lot of times some traders or some mentees, when I ask to see your trades, you know what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if you're actually following um,
Wow.
the mentorship or not. That's just a fact because what I have told you, and when you could see something objectively in the market, and when we follow the market in a methodical way, um, you I could not fool you and you could not fool me. I mean, that's transparency, right? You would know whether or not I was honest with myself in the sense of I was possibly gambling at that point in time versus was sticking to an objective style of trading, correct?
Do you remember when I was sending you screenshots of trades I'd taken, but I was using the long and short position tool?
Yes.
Right? Now, that could be made to look amazing, right? But what you asked me for was to get rid of that nonsense and use show me your chart executions. Then it's a different ball game because I can't fucking lie then. And I'm like, but if I get in too early, too late, in the wrong position, you know. And I
Mhm.
can't just hide the chart executions and just show you long or short position tool. I have to be honest with myself. And I'm like, right, what I don't even know why I got in that myself. So yeah, that's reduced my
I think you
trigger
had to
to
change
happy
your
button.
I think you had to change your underwear at that point in time
Yeah. I was
when
like, I
I
can't
said
even
that.
lie now.
When I asked to see your chart executions, you probably had to change your underwear. But the point is I cannot help anyone and I cannot help you if I do not have something that I'm looking at in a transparent way without your thought process. I don't want to know your thought process. I
That's
want
it.
to see on the chart. I don't need to know how you feel, what you thought, what your mysterious experiences are. This
My
big
intuition.
$1 million intuition. I don't need to know all that shit. When I see the chart and I see your execution, I don't need to ask questions. I am looking at with my own eyes whether or not you should have been in that trade. And it's not that I'm a perfect individual or I expect you to be a perfect individual, but we have transparency here at breathingwiththemarkets.com. And if you took a trade following the objective, methodical way approach to trading, and something happened or something went wrong, we are going to investigate objectively why that trade didn't work. Now, if we have a spike or you were too heavy, or there's a lot of different things that happen, and we communicate with each other one on one to figure out why or if that trade didn't work. But unfortunately, sometimes I have to put traders on what I call trader probation. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, you've put me on it a few times.
Trader probation. So I'm not here. I'm a friend first. You're part of the trading family second. And third, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear because me being sympathetic to your emotions or sympathetic to your style that you came from or sympathetic to make you feel good, that's not going to help you in your trading journey. And what my goal is the same goal as the mentees is to learn a skill, to perfect that skill, and mastery is key, and to continue to grow each and every day. How do you feel from the first video that you made from the course to now, the learning experiences? Only you know how your emotions are or where you think you're at to becoming a better skilled trader.
I think you've had your work cut out with me, unfortunately, because I remember messaging you and saying, probably shouldn't take me too long, Rich, because I've been trading for 2 years. And that's probably the worst client you could have because I have 2 years of gambling, quite literally taking trades on a hunch with no real reason other than I think it's going to bounce. So that's been very difficult to knock that out of me. There are days where I still sometimes, I wouldn't say I gamble, but I have to stop myself from using my intuition, which does not exist. And I have to prevent myself and go, no, because that's not part of the plan. So back from the start to now is I'm taking lesser trades than I used to, but I'm only taking the ones that I'm so confident in because it's within the setup of the plan that you teach. I think for me, it's watching myself change as a trader from a gambler to a trader. Because a gambler is not a trader, and anyone that thinks that they're a trader through gambling will soon find out that they're not. You will get caught. You might have a lucky trade, as you say, and until you do the next day the same thing and it doesn't work out and you lose your account. So gambling doesn't work. So For me to be able to knock that out, it's taken a little bit longer than I would have liked. And it's probably taken more sessions from you than maybe you thought you would have needed to do. But it is bad habits that I have or had, and I'm slowly flushing them away, which is hard when you've got 2 years of experience doing something the wrong way and then a month of doing it the right way. The previous can almost outweigh, it engulfs the new system. So it's really, if I do something wrong, I'm angry at myself for doing it because I know it's not part of the plan that you've taught. So then when I don't, when I don't take a trade that doesn't align, I'm pleased at myself because I think, well, I'll probably years ago or last year, I would have taken that. And look, I would have been wrong because there'll be a certain move that will happen or a certain pattern or something that I used to acknowledge as an entry point. I'd take it and then I'd lose my ass. So now it's more, it's not so much the planning of a trade. I suppose, well, yeah, it can be, but it's more does everything fit what Rich taught? Yeah, cool. Then we'll take it. And it's funny because every time I've done that, and I send you the screenshot, I'm like, shit, really does. Like, if I just stick to what Rich teaches me, it seems to work every single time. And then the ones that don't work out are from me not following Rich's rules. So that's in itself is powerful. Yeah. Where do I see myself? I made a bold statement last time. I haven't quite got there yet, so I'm eating a bit of humble pie today, but that's fine.
That's why we're doing the videos, so you can have something to gauge on, because we all have this whether it be a negative or positive anxiety, and we want to express ourselves, and sometimes we don't set ourselves up for failure, but without failure we cannot grow, right?
Correct.
So I failed many, many, many times in my life, and I'm going to continue to fail and fail throughout my life. We're human. We're not perfect. We get humbled, whether we keep it inside, whether we express our feelings. Everyone is different. But if you could say, what are some of the thoughts that you had? Because I was not a gambler, right? What are some of the thoughts that you have? Not a gambler, meaning that did I ever gamble? Like, just go ahead and get in this trade and not follow what I know? Yes, I have. Make sense? And yes, it didn't work for me. So that would be gambling. But what I'm saying is, I didn't come from a gambling background. I want you to explain to other traders mindset you had on gambling, and maybe they can relate to it, and maybe they hear some of the things that you say and how you felt or feel when you gamble, so they know whether or not they're gambling. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So back before I met you, I think everyone is familiar with the term looking for a bounce. We're just looking for price to bounce here. We're looking for price to bounce there. If price rejects here, I'm going to get in. If price does this, I'm going to get in here as well. And if it pulls back to here, I'm going to add. All this stuff. That there in itself. And I used to take offense when you said to me, you're gambling. And I thought, I'm not gambling. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to prove to you. And then I'd lose and I'd think, shit, yeah, I was gambling. The system back then, you are responsible for your trades, however you enter, however you exit. But no one had ever really taught me, and no one ever does teach you how and why you're entering, other than you're looking for a bounce. This can be on any time frame, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there that just trade the bounce, but that is just gambling because you don't know if it's going to bounce.
Talking about support resistance, a bounce up.
I'm talking about support and resistance, supply and demand, FVGs, or whatever they're called, fair value gaps. It used to bug me because I like something to work, right? I like a system that whatever it is in life, you do it and it's repeatable. If it's not repeatable, then it's not reliable. And if it's not reliable, you're guessing. And if you've got to keep guessing, how the hell do you get anywhere with it? So there'd be times where I'd watch other traders and price would come back into a fair value gap and they'd go long and it'd fail. And they go, oh, well, you can't win them all. Well, that doesn't work then. And then they'd take another fair value gap and then that one would work. And then the next one wouldn't work. So I don't like when there's no sure way. Now, I'm not saying that every trade I take will win, but every trade I take is taken from a pieces of a puzzle. And as I said before, so far, when I use everything you've given me, all the tools in the toolbox, they always work. I've not had one that doesn't work. There might be manipulation. There might be something that comes back and scares me and I exit out of fear and then it bloody goes. It didn't invalidate, it's just scared me. But yeah, as I say, now having that system, that plan in place, if it all aligns, if everything works out as it's supposed to be, then I enter the trade. I haven't been wrong with those trades. They're the ones that I send you. They're brilliant because we don't know what's going to happen on a chart until it happens, right? It's very easy to say, oh, it's going long, oh, it's going short. But when you use all the tools that you give me and it does exactly what you know it's going to do based on the training, it's such a nice feeling because you feel like a bit of a god that you not predicted it, but you used everything you've given me and now it's perfectly aligned how it's supposed to be. There was my entry, there was my exit. I'm up however many dollars a day. It's a great feeling. Going back to the gambling side, you tend to over leverage. So if you take your first trade and you lose, you might come in again at the second trade with double the position size, and then you lose and you think, shit, I've lost quite a lot now. And then you just start throwing trades in left, right, and center, trying to get back your money that you've lost. And you always end up blowing the account. And if you don't, you're close to it. Now it's more of a relaxed style of trading. Yes, it's fast, and yes, we need the fast markets. Today being the perfect example. Today was slow and boring, and I don't like it. And the fact that you had a slow and boring day on the same thing I was doing then tells me that doesn't even you can't trade. Well, you can trade a slow market, but it's not ideal conditions today. So that fills me with confidence that it wasn't me being an idiot. It's just the market being slow. So that's a nice feeling. Yeah, to go back to your point, I have a system now which I use every day to trade. There is no gambling anymore. Doesn't mean I'm not perfect at it. I'm still learning. But for those trades that I do take that work out and I followed the plan and I send them to you and you give me great positive affirmations, it makes me feel good that I've followed the plan. And following that plan means I'm on the path to success. And I know, as you say, you've got other mentees that are at different stages. Everyone's at different stages. There might be some that are starting out that might have just joined, I don't know. And there's some now that you said are on the live accounts and changing their lives. I hope to be that person soon. So yeah, it's difficult for me, Rich, because of work. I have to trade on my phone, which is not ideal, but I can do it.
Well,
I'd like
let's let's talk about that because there's probably other traders out there that I don't encourage anyone to trade on their phone, not even myself, unless you have unless this is the only way that I would trade on my phone. Not saying I haven't,
no.
because I have, and I've fucked up on my phone.
Hmm.
Okay, but when I'm sitting in front of a computer screen and you have a live account and you're pushing buttons on your phone, the buys and sells and the exits or whatever, but you're actually looking on a computer screen. It's different than actually just pointing and shooting on the phone. Psychology is a big part of trading, but I always say that FOMO and psychology comes from a lack of knowledge in the market. And I don't there's no one that's going to dispute that if they know what the fuck they're talking about. Because if you have the knowledge and you have a skill or a trade skill, no pun intended, you can walk, talk, and chew gum and do work at the same time if you know what you're doing, right? You could talk to a customer if you're, changing a sink out or you're, building a shed or building a gazebo and the customer's there. You're continuing to work and you're not being bothered by communicating because you have the skill, you have the knowledge, and you can continue to work through it. Okay. That's the same with trading. Okay. We get distractions in trading. And if we have the knowledge, what we see on the chart's not going to lie to us, and it's going to get inside of our brain, and we're going to be able to understand and know whether we're going to execute here or not, or when we're going to execute a trade if some items line up together. But the big part of it is that you don't want to limit yourself. If you can't trade, my thing is if you can't trade on the computer, then you just keep practicing on a still chart. you haven't been trading all day, and now all of a sudden you start to trade, and you're going to start to see things that might not exist and might not actually be there, but our minds can do some weird things when we're seeing that there should be a candle there, or there should be an entry here, and I'm just going to take it before it happens, right? This is a point here that a trader will gain a skill much faster on a still chart than trading in a live market. That's a fact.
So since the mentorship, as you know, I'm using Top Step, because I like the platform Top Step X, but I'm just on the demo part of it. The ability to view, because as you know as well, with TradingView, you need a premium subscription to go back however many bars and not back test, but look at stuff. And I think on the basic plan of TradingView, you can't go back very far, maybe 2 days or something. I don't really want to pay $700 or something for the year or some ridiculous price. So Top Step X is perfect for me. It's $40 a month, and I just get to practice on all the still charts for as far back as I can possibly be bothered to hold left and control. That works for me. The nice thing about it is I'm able to practice on the still chart, but also practice in the live market. So it's giving me both. When I'm to do this for real, live on a combine, for real money, when I pass, then I've got to do it here, because I need the information. As I've said before, it's like squeezing it. I can zoom out, yeah, but it's so different here. So, I mean, I'm looking at today's data, and I'm like, oh, doesn't look anything. And we had that chat the other day. It doesn't look anything like the fund. Nothing at all. Like the candles are different sizes. It's weird. So, yes, for me, I would love to get back. New York Open for me is 2:30 in the afternoon. It's right smack in the middle of my working day. I'm not a place financially to leave work early. I also don't like trading really late in the evening or the overnight sessions. So I'm kind of in a bit of a position where I can't really fully commit myself to this because I'm working, but I can't give up my job for a dream that's not quite produced any money yet. So,
And we don't want anyone, to quit a job. We don't want
no,
anyone
no,
to replace the job. And we've talked about that before, is that this is a skill first channel, and a skill is worth a lot more money than money itself. And we go in depth with that also, is that so if we can go ahead and master a skill, then we can start at zero each and every day. So trading can be supplemental to a primary income. A lot of traders like to say, and there's been a lot of gurus and influencers on the internet lately that have been caught using demos, and they're talking about trading live. We're going to go live today, and they're trading demos, and they're getting caught. And then you have another trader, a female trader, that got on and says they took their first loss since September of last year, but they forgot to tell everyone they didn't trade October, November, and December, So a bunch of bullshitters. They're a bunch of bullshitters. So with what you know and the education that you have, is there any way that I could bullshit you?
because of what you've taught me, I can look at today's chart and I don't even know what trades you've taken, but I know what trades you would have taken. Just looking at the chart, because the teaching you teach me and all the other mentees exactly what you do. So those that are watching go, damn, how does Rich keep every day making profit, day in, day out, this account, that account? I mean, it still cracks me up. The other day we were speaking and you bought however many combines and passed them. Just to you, it's nothing. To me, I'm like, I just want to pass one. For you to do that over and over again.
And disclaimer, I'm not perfect, and I can go on tilt, right? I can go on tilt, and I'm not perfect either. And but this is a hobby for me.
You come back the next day and you silence all those doubts in your, if you ever have any doubts in your mind. If you do lose a live account, it doesn't, yes, it hurts, but not for very long, because you're back on it the next day. The skill is back and you just do it again. And as I've said before, you look at your earnings, so to speak. I know it's not, we don't talk about money, but look at what you did in December and January. That you made a hell of a lot of money and a hell of a lot of profit, and that's yours in your bank account to do what you like with. So what if you lose an XFA? You just do another one tomorrow, because the skill's still there. You didn't do it through luck. You didn't do it through a lucky spike or over leveraging and then going, yeah, I've seen your trades. You show me after the end of the day on our screen recordings. You show me, Christ, we've done it live. In fact, when the market, when neither of us were trading and you was just watching NAS, and then you'd say, right, this is going to happen. This was quite early on, and then you'd say, right, we'd place a trade here, and then it would win. And it's just, to you, it's like, I don't even think you have any emotion towards this anymore. It's just, I think you've done it so much, you're just so good at it that there's no feeling involved. It's just, you're like a robot. It is a robotic system which you've created, that you are just the robot that presses the button when the things line up that you teach, and you make profit. So as you said, and I like this saying you say, and is it, even if you lose everything today, then tomorrow you can start with nothing and still get it all back. And that's powerful, because nobody else can do that. Nobody else can teach that. And I've searched, as I've said, no one else is doing that. Everyone else is lying. Proven, as you said, by people on demo accounts that claim to be earning hundreds of thousands of pounds a year or dollars, and they're lying on their broker statement, or their P&L is edited, and they're deleting the bit where it says demo and putting live. Yeah, it's such a manipulated, horrible industry.
It is, it is horrible, and I get messages and stuff where people are saving up money, or I have mentees that said that they actually saved up money to jump on board the mentorship, and everyone has been overwhelmed and pleased. What would you say to those who are still trying to seek out education or trying to do it on their own through the internet or YouTube? I actually feel for a lot of traders. I mean, all the traders out there that are going to YouTube trying to find a 15-minute strategy that someone claims that made him $1 million last year. Could I teach you in 15 minutes?
No.
Okay. For the traders that are out there seeking a quick fix and a path to success, or a path to mastering a skill, what would you say to them going to
Go
YouTube?
and trade Bitcoin and invest in whatever other people are
Without
doing.
financial advice, though.
Yeah, not finance. No, well, I'm not saying to invest in Bitcoin, but everyone seems to go on about all this long-term investing. So if that's what you want to do, fine. If you want to learn how to trade, actually trade the markets, then you've got to find someone who knows how to trade the markets. And as I said, other than you, I've never found anyone else. Everyone else is just gambling. If you want to gamble, there are people that will take your money each month as a monthly subscription, won't teach you sod all, and you might win some and lose the rest. So if you are saving, keep saving, because it will be the best investment you have. And I'm not affiliated with Breathing with the Market, so I paid as well. But what I have received and what I continue to receive is turning my trading journey completely around, from pulling my hair out and being stressed to being able to actually understand what's going on the chart. And I don't want to say I can predict the market, because no one can, but I can follow it now. Not as good as you, but I can follow where the market's going. And then I also am able to tell when the market's turning without gambling. And I have the plan to see when it's changing, and I know what to do. And as I get better and better, as I said, when I send you the screenshots, and you mentioned in your other video, I had 6 winning trades the other day, and one of which was still a winner, but it wasn't, I don't want to say a winner, but it worked out. It wasn't part of what you taught me. And you said that ruined the whole day. And I was thinking, it's a bit harsh.
Say that again. I thought I cut you off. Tell them what happened the other day.
So I had 6 winning trading outcomes. 5 of them were all using the system, and the 6th one was, I would say, it wasn't against the system, but it wasn't all of the parts of the system connected. So what I'd done was, I was impatient for a start, and I could have been lucky, I could have been unlucky, but it worked out. It's a trade that you would have taken maybe because you are far more advanced, but for me, I have to sit to the ones you teach, the method. So you said that despite winning, you've ruined the day. And I thought, oh, that's a bit harsh.
This guy's an asshole.
No, but I see the point, because I had 5 winning trades and you said, don't trade anymore. You said, that's a great day. Stop. What did I do? Something else set up. And I thought, it's one more. Why not? Now
And
I
I
got
know why, and I
it
know why
worked
you
out.
took it. I know why you took it because I knew where price was going and you knew where price was going. So, and I know why you took it. But the whole point is that it's not the setups that if we want to master something, it's not something that's that trade that you took. Would I
Yeah,
have taken it? Yes, I would have.
you would have, but
Bottom
not
line. I would
supposed
have
to.
taken that trade. I like the trade. I would have taken the trade. But I'm not still in the learning process. And therefore, I don't want you taking five of those trades in one day
Correct.
at all because that's a riskier trade.
Yeah.
And I teach the highest probability trades with my knowledge. And we go after the highest probability of trades available at that date and time. And that's just not a catch 22, but you understand what I'm
Yeah.
explaining based on what I taught you. But anything other than that, to me, is going to I need to keep you on the train tracks
Mm.
and I need you to keep, having positive days each and every day overall. Doesn't mean you might over leverage one trade or something like that. That's fine. Then don't over leverage because you don't have to over leverage. People
No.
give you a lot of money or props give you a lot of money, and a lot of people will over leverage and find themselves in trouble, or they find themselves lucky and then they try to keep getting lucky over time, and that's just going to run away. So yes, I was harsh on you, and I said you basically ruined the day because of that one trade. And the mindset that I want you to have, and all the mentees that I teach, is that just repeat the same thing over and over again, and don't go outside of the teaching, even though
As
you might
well,
see the same setup. It was the same setup, it just wasn't in the same area.
it
And
wasn't
that's
correct.
therefore the probability goes down. And therefore you could have lost all of your winnings that day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I could have lost that trade and wiped out the winnings, and
So
then I sat there and I
psychology, and then you would have second guessed because we're all human. We're all
yeah.
human, and when we take in a trade, win or lose, we're going to have some feelings. I don't teach you how to have no feelings in life, but I
Mm.
do teach you to where you gain confidence and you feel good about yourself, and and then that process keeps repeating itself, and then the confidence level goes up, and
Yeah.
but then we have to work on the patience of waiting because now a lot of the mentees are saying, wait a minute, the 1 minute time frame is like, I'm like, wait a minute, you came from the daily and you're talking about the 1 minute time frame is slow. What would you say about that?
Yeah. I came from the daily and 4 hour support and resistance, and you had to wait. My God, did you have to wait? It's not ready yet. It would bounce away from resistance and then come back, and you can't wait. Or you'd be in the trade for 3 days and it hasn't moved away from resistance. So yeah, a 1 minute time frame is not very long at all, but it sometimes can feel like it because you're itching. You just want to make a trade. You're like, come on, come on, come on. And yeah, today was really annoying because it's just so
It was
slow,
annoying.
boring.
Yeah, on a
But
one
we
minute.
spoke,
How
yeah,
can
we
a
spoke
1 minute be
before, haven't we?
boring, right? How can a one
It's
minute
like,
be
yeah.
boring? But that's because of knowledge. That's because you gain the knowledge. So then you see, you understand what you're looking for. You understand price. You understand where price is going. You understand when price is more than likely going to turn and stuff like this. Waiting for that on a 1 minute seems like a long time now, especially if you didn't get in when price had turned before. And then all of a sudden you may want to force trades. And that's what I'm saying is we don't want to force trades. We want each and every day to be great.
The other day, it was London session, and the market was bearish, and I got three shorts, one after the other. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I saw
I'll
that.
go into details. And I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. And about 2 hours later, everything else aligned. I went long. Four winners in a row. It was the same day I'm talking about. And then the fifth winner after the market was long after New York Open. So my account was like lots of green numbers, and I thought, I'm amazing. I felt amazing. And then I took that sixth trade, which worked out, but it shouldn't have worked out because it equally could have gone against me. So
Well,
really, it's
it was a good trade. It's not, it was a good trade, but I can't sit here and tell you that take those trades because I don't want you to. When
Yeah.
I can't prevent you from taking trades, right? All I'm trying to explain here is that I want you to be able to repeat everything over and over and over again and obtain that confidence level that, wow,
Does
this
work.
really works. I
Yeah,
mean,
it really
I am
does work.
seeing the market. I am actually seeing the manipulation of the market. This is a program, and I can read this program based on the information I learned. I can read this program. I don't want you to ruin that mindset, taking something that, and you had a good point reason you took it, and I couldn't say, well, you're not right because you were right what you said. I don't want to explain
Yeah.
here, but the point is,
Too soon for me to be doing
yeah,
those type of trades.
yes. So,
Too
and
much risk involved when I have a system that already produces over and over and over again. I don't need to be greedy, number one. And
that's the key is you already
it
had
was
five
greed.
winning trades. You had five winning trades,
You
and
feel
don't make a
invincible.
riskier trade.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, I am unbreakable. I'm going to keep going. Oh, look, it's setting up again. And yes, I won the trade, so to speak, but I could have very easily lost that trade. It could have just
Well, a
manipulated
lower
itself.
probability. So
Yes,
it was
yeah.
still high probability, but not what
Not
I
what you
want to explain. So yeah. So how do you feel that from a month ago, or I don't even remember the last time I had the interview, but probably about a month. Where do you see yourself now? Not
So,
hypothetically, but
yeah.
skill wise.
So when you sat with me for the first two long sessions, it was mind blowing that just by doing what you taught me, it's a repeatable system over and over again. But then what happens, as you said, you taste blood and you get a bit overexcited and you think you can beat the market and you think you can guess the market. And despite everything you taught me, I think I started to not forget, but I started to not use some of the things that you had said. And I was just taking three quarters of what you said and going away, and it was working until it didn't. And then I'd be all negative, and then you go, why have you done that? You didn't use this, you didn't use that, you haven't done that, you haven't done this. And I go, shit, yeah. And then we'd go back and we'd do it all again, and then they'd all work out. So back then it was excitement. I suppose now it's confidence. There's a difference between then and then. I know that back then I was very excited and I could see everything. It was great. I was like someone had just put glasses on me and I could see everything. Now I have to realize that the system works. There's no doubt in that. It's my patience and waiting for things to all align, and then I take it. And those ones work every time. Not, I don't want the ones that work half the time. I want the ones that work every time. And so far, when I do what you've taught, they all work out. I can't explain it any other way than that. And it's funny because you say things like, where I called you the algorithm maker the other day, didn't I? Because you seem to know what's going to happen as it's happening, well, before it's happened. And although you don't give me any go long or go short, it will be after the fact or whatever. It's interesting to see that. I mean, the last session alone that we had, where there was something I wasn't doing. I can't say it, but you remember the session, right? And I had done that prior to market open today, and it just perfectly aligned, like to the fucking point. And I was like, wow. I was like, there's no way that he would have known that by doing it. Yeah, it's just crazy how it works out that way. And they're the ones that short today from my New York Open. I know it wasn't open, but 2:30 pre-market that short, and I stayed in the short because I was like, we are really bearish, and got out and made a nice profit. Those are my favorite ones. They're the ones where everything lines up. So they're the ones I'm taking now. So I might take less trades per day.
Well, it
But
depends on what
really,
setups you see, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's not, do I tell you limit yourself to one trade or two trades a day?
No, you don't tell me to
Do I
limit
tell you,
myself.
do I tell you don't overtrade? You hear
No,
that?
you can't overtrade if it's there. If it's a robot, if a robotic approach, objective approach, sorry. And it does make me laugh when I'll take a long position, and I'll close in profit, and then the same thing repeats, and I'm like, oh shit, there's another one. And then my brain goes, yeah, but you've got profit, you shouldn't take that, because that's my old gambling mindset that goes, You've already had a winner. You don't need another one. And I'm like, yeah, but it's the same thing. So then you take it and that one wins and you think, oh, and it's nice because it's subjective and it's the same thing as the one before. You don't know how far a trade is going to go. It could go, well, you don't teach how far, but my point is some trades I get out and I'm like, oh, damn. And it runs a full 100 points. But there's trades where I've stayed in and it comes back. So I'm like, right, no, we're not doing that. So what you teach is brilliant because what it means is that every trade you take, you end up with a profit, and every profit you have grows, and then your days are always green. I don't know how much I'm going to make. I don't really care as long as I'm green every day, because that then means I'm profitable and I'm doing this. And the better I get, the bigger those green days get. And
Comes with leverage. So
yeah,
the more money you have, obviously, this is my whole point. Do you agree or disagree with me? Is that people show their P&L and then they talk about their P&L. The first thing they say is, "I made $700,000 in one trade," or "I made $30,000 in one trade." Well, does that mean you're a trader? So explain to the traders out there that just because you made $30,000 in one trade, what does that really mean?
it doesn't mean anything. I mean, you've got me able to read the news now, which is quite funny because that, yeah, I see things on YouTube are it's CPI, we're going long, and then you watch their screen recordings of their phone and it goes up and goes bang and their account's gone. Now I'm able to trade news and know the direction, even though it will do its thing where it will, it goes down, scares everyone, knocks everyone out, and then goes up. I knew it was going up. Sounds cocky, I know, but I can tell by what. And yeah, it's a lovely feeling. Sorry, what was the question you said? I've lost myself there.
My question was that people talk with money. They might talk with fancy cars,
Ah, yeah.
fancy homes with money, and they want people to assume that just because they made X amount of money in a day or the last 5 days that they're a trader.
I've
It-
got a really good way of washing that out. If anyone's following someone and they're wondering if they're a trader and they've got Lamborghinis and Rolex watches and mansions, ask them to do a prop firm challenge. I bet they can't, because that means you've got to use the correct sizing. That means that you can't just go in all in and make $30,000 because you'll blow your account. So anyone that is following somebody who has all of these lovely things on Instagram, can they pass a prop firm challenge and get a payout? Because I think the statistics are something like 98% can't and only 2% get a payout, something really, really small. But you don't, as a person looking, and I did it when you're looking for somebody to follow. You kind of look at what they've got and you think, shit, they've made $30,000 today, and then they're getting in their Porsche or their Lamborghini and off they drive. That isn't from trading. That isn't earned from trading. That's not trading capital. That is subscriptions, payments from YouTube, affiliates with brokers, affiliates with this. It's just a business. And me as the end user would look at them and think, man, these guys are rich. I'm going to follow them because they know what they're doing, because they've got all these nice material things. It's not real. There was a guy you said the other day that he got caught on using a demo account by mistake, and
Claiming he
nothing
made
actually takes his
claiming he
life.
made $300,000 this year, and I told you that guy's a gambler
You
and
did?
doesn't know how to trade.
Mm.
And he got caught. And trading is not just pressing buttons. Trading is not just pressing buttons because the market goes up and down. That's not 50%. Because when you trade size, you trade anything, there's slippage and there's fees involved. So you don't have a 50% chance of winning whether you press a button or not. But these people on TV, you have 5 and 6 thousand traders following them, or 5 or 6 thousand views, or 70,000 views, and the guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, or girl. There's both guys and girls on YouTube now that are literally, in my opinion, fucking scamming people. Why do I say that? In your own words, could someone fool me about trading?
Absolutely not. No, even I can send you a screenshot. You already know the market before, if I say to you, I've had a winning day or I've had a green day, you already know what I've taken because you've taught me. So you are able to view that market regardless of the time frame, regardless of the pair or the indices or futures, whatever. You know what's gone on. For somebody to fool you, it would have to be a correct trade. Because a fake trade or a trade that was lucky, you would say that that was lucky. You would say that was a lucky trade. You weren't even in the direction of the market. You just got lucky. Do it again and see what happens, sort of thing. So no, you can't be fooled with it. I've tried to fool you. It didn't work out. I tried to fool you with the long and short position tools, and you went, no, 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 no. Turn on the chart execution. I was like, shit, now he's going to see where I entered. And I did get lucky on that one. But yeah, no, it's you're
No,
in a league of your own with this, but people don't know you, or people do know you, but you don't have the views of 70, 80,000 yet. You will do one day, and those people. Not that you do it for that. No, you
no.
don't. This is more just to
This is another thing I
prove to
want to
yourself as well.
explain too, is that since you've been in the program, am I continuing to charge you? Am I continuing to ask for money from you in order
No.
for us to talk and speak?
No, no, and that's one thing I've got to say. Well, I've officially finished my hours on my mentorship, but Rich is still here and he's still helping me daily if I need it, and I can still ask him a question. And I got something wrong last week, and he texted me and said, "Have you got 10 minutes? We could do a quick Zoom call." Now I was on my phone, and he's explaining. And you're explaining it, and you're teaching me, and that's not, you've not charged me for that. You've said
No,
you will be here until, you haven't given me a timeline. You haven't said until I'm dead, but you will
I'm here
continue.
for you. You're not going anywhere. I'm here for you.
No, and that's
This isn't about money. My time is valuable. You invested in me and I'm investing in you. And I am giving you more than what you've invested in. And I'm going to continue to do so. It's not about, so like I tell each and every one of the mentees is that I'm here for you all the time. And we don't speak every day, and you're not asking questions every day. But our goal, my goal, and your goal when you came here is to learn an edge. And my goal is to make sure that you learn a skill and a skill set, and that I keep you on the train tracks. And that when you veer off, I bring you back on. I'm not going to be political about it. I'm going to I tell you straight up that, hey, you're gambling, or hey, you're not supposed to do that. And
That's
however
what you
someone
need.
takes that is up to them. But I'm not going to be sympathetic, and I'm not going to come out and say it's okay. And you know what to do. You know what
Mm,
to do. So, and if you don't know what to do, then we need another session, because there's a lot of information that I give you. I get it. There's a lot of information I give you, and other mentees say, oh, I don't remember, hearing that or this. And I understand, because there's a lot of information I give you, and that's why let's have another session,
mm.
right? I don't say get out your checkbook, go ahead and sign up for another session. And when I see it come across, then we'll go ahead and book. That's not who I am as a person. I want you to succeed in having a skill set that you can continue to work on it and repeat it. And then as a trader, you will know as a trader when you're ready, that you can continue to repeat this over and over and over again without getting off the train tracks.
Yeah, I think it's important that for me personally, anyway, the way my mind is I have the rules. I know what I should be doing, but ever so slightly sometimes get distracted by things in the market and go, oh, I wonder if that could possibly, and that's the mindset that I'm almost, you see, you get these people that have rubber bands on their hands, and they ping them when I don't know, you see if they want to stop doing something. Every time they want a cigarette or they want a beer, they snap this rubber band. It's, you are like the rubber band on me. As if I do something wrong, I need that in order to do the right thing again. And having that support there is crucial, because it's very easy to go off track, because you've given me all this information. I can slightly alter it and twist it and make things fit, and it's almost ready. That would be all right. But no, you have to stick to what you've been taught, what I've been taught, because that is the system that works, and it works. Again, it just proves itself time and time again. It's an objective way, and if it's not ready, then you wait. And that's probably the hardest part about this. I've learned it all. I understood it all.
On a 1 minute time frame is hard.
I know it's the patience. It's the patience. You're like, if I get in now, that's even better. But you can't do that. You can't. You have to wait and wait. And today, as I said, today was
Because
really
the
annoying.
market's manipulated. So the
Yeah,
market's going to give you, and the market's going to sucker traders in the market. And if
it
they're not
does.
trading objectively, that's why the candles flicker up and down. They go from red to green, green to red, red to green, and they just flicker around. And whether you have color on your chart or whether you don't have color on your chart, they're still flickering. So some people believe they mastered where they don't need, color on their chart, and that I don't need indicators, I don't need color, I don't need this, and I don't need anything, and I trade naked on the chart, but yet they have money coming in for their stop loss. They're a gambler, and they're a gambler because I can see, you can see it, and you have more education and better education and more knowledge. And you have become a better trader than them. Now, you might not have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, but you have a skill set that you are continuing to work on that will never leave you. So that's why we keep continuing to work on the skill. So once you paid for your education or mentorship with he or she, then hopefully you've learned a skill that you can continue to work on for free after that, after you've paid the initial mentorship. Then you work on that for free without gambling. And it's over a period of time, regardless, you're going to get better and better. It's a fact. Now, if you take 6 months off or 8 months off, well, then you've wasted 8 months, right?
You
So
need to.
you need to keep practicing. And it doesn't mean practice forward test. There's no forward testing and there's no back testing. It's I'm teaching you a specific skill that you can literally do on a still chart.
One of the things I like that you do is even after your trading day's done and you've locked out, so you can't press any buttons by mistake or lean on the mouse or whatever, you are still marking the charts with what you teach, which is powerful because it means that you, even though you don't need any more training, you're still keeping it fresh in your mind and you're still keeping that I wouldn't say eye to hand coordination, but that visualization constantly so that you never forget. And if you're doing that, even when the markets, when you're not in the market, if anyone's wondering, he's not placing buy and sell things going, I'd have got in here after it's happened. He's actually marking points on the chart, things on the chart that he teaches, even though he's not even in the trade, because it's important that you keep visualizing it and seeing it over and over again. I love it when one of the things you teach lines up and it just pops its head up, and I'm like, it's my favorite thing because I wait for it and I wait for it and I'm like, oh, this has happened, that's happened. It's like I have a checklist of the things and it's yep, like 6 out of 7, and I wait and I wait and I wait, and there it is. And there's no hesitation because I know it's the thing. And then it just goes into profit. And it's like, yes, close. Thank you very much. Lovely.
So let's just repeat that, okay? And
Yeah.
not get off of the
No
off
more
the
train
train
tracks.
tracks, especially being on a 1 minute time frame. So if there's anything else that you can add to the traders out there, I thank you for your time and um, helping the community, because this is what it's about, is to help the community of the traders out there that maybe they're thinking the same thing, and maybe they're stuck, or maybe they're wondering, that they would like to trade. They're wondering about education, and they're wondering, where they're going to be in 6 months. Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap it up?
I know with 100% assurity that I can't give a timeline yet because work does get in the way of trading, unfortunately. And if I concentrate on trading all day, then I won't get any work done and I need to pay my bills. So I know that in a period, I don't want to put a time limit on it yet. I know I've got a date set in my mind. You've got a date set in my mind, in your mind. Not a date to go live, but a date where my brain has absorbed this so well that it's now I'm never going to forget it, right? With that in mind, I know because you are not letting me go off these train tracks, and every time I do, you pull me back on and You almost visually slap me round the face in the screen and go, no, 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 we're doing this. You keep me doing that way. I know that I can't fail at this if I just keep doing what you taught me. And that's a nice feeling to know that it's coming. I don't know when, but I can feel it. I can feel every trade I take that works with the system. Well, they all work with the system, but every trade that's profitable, it's just that little step closer. It's one trade closer to being where I need to be. So in a few weeks, a few months, I don't know. It's not very long now. I can feel it because the confidence is up there, that I will be in a position with a funded account and playing for real that I never thought I'd ever be able to do. I don't know how everyone else does it. I really don't. I see these people that with all these funded accounts. I just, fair play to them. I wasn't able to. So anyone that's wondering, anyone that's struggling, anyone
Well,
that's come,
money you can gamble, right? People can gamble. So that was the big thing in the industry also is people are gambling. And, I don't know what constitutes gambling or not. I mean, yeah, they made $15,000, but they can't explain why they took the trade. If it's intuition or if it's if it starts with it's fucking gambling. I tell you that, right? I thought, I have experienced that when Price does this, right? Makes sense? It's
I'm
not
not allowed to
objective.
say that because having an eye means that I'm guessing. It's not there, then it's not happening. And if it's not happening, then it's a gamble. And you've got a knock for me personally. That's the hardest part of the system for me is waiting and then not gambling in between. Because that is the bit that's inviting that I have really had to try and knock on the head because of my prior learning, if you like. That's the hardest part for me is it's absorbing the information isn't too hard for me, but it's waiting for the information to come to me, if you like, be patient and then go for it. So anyone that is as I said, gambling, then you're not going to last. You won't. This is why Rich, or you rather, are able to post day in, day out, over and over and over and over again. And that there is very powerful because if you are doing something that is repeatable, that means you can consistently make profit. And if you can consistently make profit, then you must be doing something the same each day. You have taught me that. And now I can see how you make money each day, how you make profit each day. And there's no gamble in it. You can't gamble something that's objective. Can you be wrong? Well, I don't know if you can. I can. Can I over leverage?
Well, I can be wrong too. I could get in too early. I make mistakes. I'm human. But I agree with you is when something is objective, our opinions don't matter.
Correct. And if it's not there, then there's no trade to take.
Doesn't exist.
No. So if it doesn't exist, for what reason are you taking the trade? That's a gamble.
If a trader, and I think I've said this before on the videos, if a trader cannot explain exactly why they got in and have objective reasons why they got in, then I'm sorry, that's gambling because the market is manipulated. And if you don't understand the market that is manipulated, then your opinion, your thoughts, your intuition, your hunch, you may have had 3 great trades in a row, but over a period of time, you will lose everything you ever have because your opinion does not matter. My opinion does not matter in the market. I don't have do I have an opinion in the market? Do I teach you that it's going to take you 6 years to do this, 5 years to do this? Do I teach you that you're going to just get it one day? You just have to keep looking at the market. Well, how are you going to look at the market if you don't know what to look for?
Right. Unless you were taught. But the thing is, if we all went to school to learn trading, or college or university, and I believe there are some courses out there, but I'm pretty much sure they don't teach you what you taught me. I think they're just teaching support and resistance and supply and demand and that sort of stuff. There isn't an education out there to teach you. Of course, there's not an education out there because the guys that I'd say own the market, but the algorithm is trying to take money off you. And it will every time, unless you've outsmarted the algorithm. And you have. Your objective approach pisses all over the algorithm because it laughs at it and goes, yeah, I know what you're going to do. And you wait and you hit it and you beat the algorithm. You are quicker than the algorithm. And that's funny because no one else has done that yet. And the teaching that is given isn't taught on how to trade the algorithm. It's not taught on how to benefit or take profit from the market. It's just, it teaches you, I suppose, technical analysis, which actually, come to think of it, it means nothing. What's a high? What's a low? It just it doesn't equate to you making money. It just tells you what a candle does and what support and resistance is. But it doesn't. One of the other traders says that they don't use support and resistance as an indication of when to take a trade, but they use it for a way of judging their risk. So if it breaks past, then they close. And if it continues in the direction, then they make a profit. One of the things, I think I may have said this before, but I think on the first day, it did make me laugh. You go on the 4 hour or something and you get the horizontal time line tool and you click the chart about 50 times, right? And then you zoom in and some of the touches that you've managed to magically hit are the most perfect bounces on these fake support and resistance lines. Do you remember that? It's brilliant. And you think, shit, I would have taken that trade as well back then. But it just goes to show that the information that's out there is wrong.
It's
It
fake.
doesn't actually make any sense.
It's fake. A 2-year-old can do that. If they can
Yeah.
push a button on the chart, they can do that, a horizontal line, and go back in history. Nobody can say, well, the reason I took this trade is because if you look left, you see how it rejects over here? Now that's why I took the trade. Well, what they didn't tell you is they have a couple $100,000 coming in that they can well, they think they can outlast the market. They can't, but a lot of them say that they'll use a $10,000, $15,000 stop loss, but when it gets $2,000 in the red, they're pulling it off out and saying that they have risk management. Well, risk management starts before the execution of a trade, not after and not during. So,
One of the things you said was, and I never used to understand, is you trade on your right shoulder. Never knew what the hell that meant. Now I do. Now I do. Now I know what that means because your left shoulder, if you like, is almost.
yeah, we don't want to.
I know, but no, but you could have 1,000 people try and figure that out. They won't understand it because it has to be
Correct.
taught. And
It has to
I
be.
never understood it. You have to understand what Rich is saying when he says that something like that because you wouldn't get it. Because I didn't get it. And I'm scratching my head going, my right shoulder, there's nothing there. Price hasn't formed yet. What's he talking about? The man's crazy. There's no price to. But yeah, it makes sense now. But back then I thought, wow, what the hell is he on about? But it cracks me up that you were doubted for so long. It really does.
Well, I encourage that because those who doubt are going to have to put up, you know. So it's kind of like this, you know. If someone accuses you of drinking a beer in the parking lot, they would have to prove it. You don't have to prove that you weren't drinking a beer in the parking lot. Those who are accusing you of something have to prove that you are doing that, right? So yeah, word of the wise, you know, don't go out and challenge people that you don't know because you get spanked.
Yep, good stuff coming. I'm very excited. Got to figure out my life a little bit. Times to trade. I can trade at work. It's not ideal. It doesn't mean that I can't use the system. I can, but as I've explained before, it's a lot easier. It's a lot more visible on the computer. Although, you know, the last couple of weeks after our mentorship calls, I'm still able to do the system on my phone, and I'm proving that to you, showing you, and you're saying, you know, well done. Confidence is growing. I know myself.
If you can do it on your phone, you certainly can do it on the computer. The
Yeah,
only
it's
thing
much
about the
easier.
phone is I would not like someone to mess up their psychology. And I'm not into the psychology of trading. I'm just saying that when you're looking at a 2 by 3 inch screen, it's a little difficult to see.
When
And
you on our call, when you showed me, because I took some trades on my phone, and they all worked out as they always do when you use the system. But on our call, you showed me the same trades on the computer, and it's completely different. Completely different. I know obviously you're zoomed in and the size of the candles are bigger, but even when you zoom out and you scrunch it into something that big, when I zoom out on here and scrunch it, it's this big. So it's the
yeah,
same data, but it's 10 times wider and you can really see the overall picture. Yeah. But until that day comes where I am able to maybe leave work early or, take a laptop to work or something, figure out a way, that's the hardest part for me now is finding the time, which is crazy when you think about it. I know how to trade on a professional level. I just don't have the ability to do it in the daytime like I would love to, like you do. I mean, some people are office based, they work from home, they have a work monitor, they have a trading monitor. And whilst they're in calls, whilst they're doing emails, they can trade. I'd love to do that, but I'm a handyman. I do manual job. I don't have the ability to, sometimes I'll be trading at work in the middle of doing something and a customer comes in to talk to me and I'm thinking, uh, just go away a minute. But just 2 more minutes, please. This is setting up and I need to take this. It's just it's a passion for me, but a hobby as well. I hope to one day make it as a side hustle, side income.
Yeah.
That I can see in the forthcoming future. Where it takes me after that, I don't know. I don't like putting big numbers on it and saying I will be vastly rich because I don't know. I might be, I might not. I know that I have the skills now to make a profit,
Yes.
work on, and keep going with that. And maybe in some time, as I said, I shall receive a payout. I think for me to get a payout, that then proves to me that I've done it. I don't care if it's
Well,
100.
it just shows progress, right?
Yes, that's the bit I want.
So that's what the videos are for is progress. It's not about claiming that you're the best in the world. You want to be your best. I'm not against anyone. I'm a lifetime student myself, and we're going to learn each and every day. I can learn from you. You can learn from me. We can all learn from each other. We can actually learn from other people's mistakes too. So that's what's great about trading. But I appreciate your time and thank you for the community.
I
Thank
will
you.
be back soon, Rich, I promise.
What's that?
I said I will be back soon, with
Absolutely.
a shiny certificate, which I'm going to put on the
Well,
wall here.
yeah, absolutely. So
So you'll all see it. We just on my white wall there. I
there you
am
go.
funded.
Right.
That's, and I'm going to put it in a nice big frame, and I'm going to stare at it every day before I.
And that's a process. Now,
Yeah.
funded is a process, and then all of a sudden, if you got to pay out, that's fine. But it's all a stepping stone. So
Yeah.
that is a milestone. So it's not about the money. This is a skill first channel. I don't tell you how much you're going to make. I don't
No.
tell you you're going to be wealthy. I don't tell you you're going to make 100,000. I teach you an edge, a skill in the market, a skill set in the market. And you have to continue to learn that skill set. And the reason you can learn the skill set is because I've showed you what to do and how to do it. And you just have to continue to repeat it. The more you repeat it, the better skill set you're going to have over a period of time.
One thing I like you saying as well is you say don't waste your money on combines, don't waste your money on the live market. Practice on the still chart. And yeah, a demo's fine because there's no financial risk to me at all. And that's perfect until I'm
If you're
ready.
not gambling, if you're not gambling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because demos, I don't believe in demos. I don't believe in demos because people use size that they normally wouldn't have, and they gamble. I don't believe there's no such thing. Oh, just take 100 trades and see how many winners you have, and you'll know if you have an edge in the market. What fucking bullshit is that? Think
And
about
expect to have 3 down months a year because all
it.
traders do, apparently. And you only need to win 6 out of 10 trades to be profitable. And if you
It's
cut
just crazy. So what if you were gambling 100 trades and you had a 60, 70, 80% win rate on and you were gambling? If you're gambling, I mean, it's mind-boggling. But anyways, that's for another time. I appreciate your time and thank you. Thanks a lot and we'll see you soon.
no worries. Thanks very much.
Peace.
Take care.